Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today I'm going to talk to you about Glacier Bay. So honestly, Glacier Bay is why we keep booking cruises to Alaska. We thoroughly enjoy being on the cruise ship, we really enjoy the ports and all the beautiful scenery we get to see there, but Glacier Bay is such a special place. The scenery is spectacular, and it remains such a special place, I think, because it is so well protected. Glacier Bay really is still a wilderness, and access to it is very tightly regulated. So on the day that we are spending Glacier Day, the day starts really early. On our itinerary, it says that we will be entering Glacier Bay at 6 a.m. And I just want to give you a heads up that you might want to be ready a little bit early on that day, because on the last cruise that we were on, we were really ahead and we were entering Glacier Bay around 5:15 in the morning. Right before we enter Glacier Bay, a national park ranger, at least one, will board our ship, and they just ride out the launch from their ranger station that is right there by the entrance to Glacier Bay. And so it is really special to get to have a national park ranger on board. They will set up a little area, and on our last two cruises, we were on the Golden Princess and then the Star Princess. They set up their little area on the inside, on the top deck of the inside of the indoor pool. And so I'm not quite sure where they will set it up this time. I'm sure they'll let us know on board, but they do a really nice job they set up a good display. They have a really nice map of Glacier Bay, and it's the topographical kind, so that you can see where how the terrain is and everywhere that we'll be visiting. And then they also have books that you can buy and also look at about Glacier Bay. And then they have all of the stamps that go with it. Like, this is the National Park's passport that has little areas in it to get stamps, and this is just this is the special stamp that I got at Appomattox Courthouse. They have special ones for Glacier Bay, and then they'll also have the ones with the date and everything to say where you were. And when I was on there last time, they also sold these. But you don't have to even buy one of these. Sometimes if I don't have my book with me, I will put the stamps on just little slips of paper to tuck into my journal or to tuck into my planner, or stamp a page in my planner, whatever you'd like to do. But I think it's really special to get to have a stamp so you can remember what day you were there and everything. But anyway, the rangers have that, and then they have just some other little miscellaneous things that it's very interesting place to visit. And you know what? They will answer any questions that you have about Glacier Bay. And so they're a great resource, and it's a really it's very worth visiting their area there. And so also the rangers will give a commentary while we're in Glacier Bay, and they'll talk about all of the natural history and what we're looking at and everything. They also talk about the wildlife, and it's really kind of fun because if they spot a whale or an otter or a seal or anything, then they tell everybody where it is so everybody can try to get the chance to see it. And so it's just really fun, and they do an excellent job. The naturalist that is on board, Princess always has a naturalist on board these cruises, and they will also do a commentary. And so it's really worthwhile to listen to. So you'll be able to hear that up on the open decks over the ship's speaker system, and then also they put it on a channel that's available in your stateroom, and so you can just turn it on and listen to what they're saying. And so be aware of that. Also, I wanted to say that Glacier Bay is a place that is really a place to be viewed not only from your balcony, if you have a balcony, but also from the top decks, because it just gives you that opportunity to see kind of everything around at once. And a little hint about that is I've noticed when we've gone up first thing in the morning that it is really crowded. There's a lot more people up on the top decks trying to see everything. But as the day wears on, some people get, they've seen enough, which is really okay. Everybody likes different things, but some people will go swimming, or they'll spend time in their room, in their stateroom or at other places on the ship. So it really thins out on the top decks a little bit later in the day while we're still in Glacier Bay and there's still glaciers to see. And so just kind of keep that in mind. So it's good to check back. If you go and it's really crowded, just come back in a little while and it should be a little bit better. And so the main thing to keep in mind is just to be ready early. is what I would say, and then ready to listen and enjoy the day. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is when we get to view the glaciers. So the first really big glacier that we'll probably get to visit, at least when we have gone before, is the Marjorie Glacier, and it is a really beautiful glacier. It has such beautiful shades of blue in it. The amount of blue in the ice is determined by how old the ice is, and that affects how much light it reflects. So the Marjorie Glacier has a lot of really beautiful blue in it, and it's really big, and the times that I've been there, it has calved some, so some of the ice has fallen into the water. So it's really exciting to get to see that and to see the water ripple and move with that. And also, if you listen, you can usually hear the ice groaning a little bit, and I really think that's very cool. Another thing to watch for is there are a lot of birds when we've been there before on top of the glacier, and they fly around, and some of them are just sitting on top of the glacier, and when you listen closely, if it's quiet enough, you can hear them chirping and singing, and it's just I just thoroughly enjoy hearing the birds sing there on the glacier. And whenever we have been close to that glacier, another heads up, we always seem to see little otters in the water there, so just keep that in mind. Now, as you're looking at the Marjorie Glacier, on the right hand side, kind of at the end of that inlet that we have gone down to get to the Marjorie Glacier, is the Standard Pacific Glacier. That glacier has dirt, is covered in dirt on it, and that's not uncommon for glaciers to pick up dirt from the terrain as they advance. But when I went the first time and they were talking about the glacier, I thought I couldn't find it because I didn't realize that it was covered in dirt. Now, we haven't been there clearly for a couple of years, and so maybe it's not anymore, but I have a feeling it probably still is because it was the first time we went, and then 3 years later it was still. And so anyway, as you're looking at that big swath that just looks like dirt coming down, it really is the glacier. And then right close there is where Canada begins. And so it's just interesting to kind of know where we are on the map. So as we are in that area, the ship will turn so that both sides of the ship get viewing time. And so when we were there before, they've spent a half an hour with each side. So the port side gets to look for half an hour, and as the ship comes down that little inlet there, it's the port side sees it first, and then it'll rotate those so that the people on the starboard side have just as much time to view the glacier. And so if you don't get enough viewing time, view on your side where your balcony is, and then go up to the deck and see the other side. But that's just something good to know about that. So I wanted to tell you that my very favorite glacier to see in Glacier Bay is the John Hopkins Glacier, and that one we are not able to sail into that bay because it is protected, because that's where baby seals live. And so you just see it from the end of the bay, but it is just beautiful. The shades of blue and the way that it is situated with the mountains and the color of the water in the bay is just breathtaking. And so make sure that you don't miss getting to see that glacier when we go by. Then the rest of the day we will see some more glaciers as we go down some other little arms kind of off of Glacier Bay, and so make sure you see those. I think sometimes we think, or maybe I did the first time we went there, that once you've seen one they all look alike, but really it's interesting because they are different. They advance differently, they reflect the light differently, and it's just really interesting to see. And then also the shades of the water will change a little bit with blues and greens and just how they look, because some areas have more glacial silt than other areas. And so I really enjoy seeing that as well, and I think you will too. The last thing is that Glacier Bay is known as a place that has a lot of whales, and so look for whales, and I think we're going to all get to see lots of whales. And then we always see otters and seals and sea lions as well, and so keep your eye out for those. And then finally, you know, they always, like I mentioned, they always have a naturalist on board the ship. And he or she, when we've been there before, really do an outstanding job. The lectures that they do are very well worth attending. I've noticed that a couple of them are listed on the sea days, that they're listed on the Medallion Class app. And so we signed up for those. And So let's see. They give really good lectures. They often have a little display outside of the Princess Theater where they usually have those. And so that's a really good resource to learn. And they're always so kind. They will answer all of your questions and talk with you about anything you want to know. And so keep that in mind. That is all I can think of about Glacier Bay. So if any of you have any questions, and just put them in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do subscribe and give us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel. I will be talking to you again soon. And until then, you take really good care. God bless you. Bye. Love you.